July 6, 1942. A few days ago, Father began to talk about going into hiding. He said it would be very hard for us to live cut off from the rest of the world. He sounded so serious I felt scared. Don't worry, Annika. We'll take care of everything. Just enjoy your carefree life while you can. Carefree? I was born in Frankfurt on June 12, 1929. Because we're Jewish, my father immigrated to Holland in 1933. He started a business manufacturing products used to make jam. But Hitler invaded Holland on May 10, 1940, a month before my 11th birthday. 5 days later, the Dutch surrendered, the Germans arrived, and the trouble started for the Jews. Father was forced to give up his business. We couldn't use streetcars, couldn't go to the theater or movies anymore, couldn't be out on the street after 8 p.m., couldn't even sit in our own gardens. We had to turn in our bicycles, no beaches, no swimming pools, no libraries. We couldn't even walk on the sunny sides of the street. My sister Margeotes and I had to go to a Jewish school. Our identity cards were stamped with a big black J, and we had to wear the yellow star. But somehow, life went on. Until yesterday, when a call-up notice came from the SS. Margeotes was ordered to report for work in Germany to the Westerberg transit camp. A call-up. Everyone knows what that means. At 5:30 this morning, we closed the door of our apartment behind us, 10 days earlier than my parents had planned. My cat was the only living creature I said goodbye to. The unmade beds, the breakfast things on the table, all created the impression we'd left in a hurry. And our destination? We walked 2.5 miles in the pouring rain, all the way to Father's office building. Our hiding place, his secret annex, is right upstairs behind it. Even though the Germans forced Father out, he still runs the office with Mr. Crawler and me, who've agreed to help us while we're in hiding.
You've done too much already, Lee. Besides, it's good for us to keep busy. As you see, Anne's my little helper.
I can see that. Peter! Oh, Peter, come in.
Ah, Peter. The first to arrive. Peter Van Daan, welcome. Peter, children.
Welcome to the annex.
Margaret. Anne, and you already know Mrs. Frank.
Mrs. Frank. Forgive me, Peter, I'm not quite myself, but I'm really glad that I'm here.
I am too. A cat! He has a cat!
Oh, a black one.
We have a cat too. I wanted to bring her, but I know our neighbors will take care of her till we come back. But it'll be great having a cat here. Won't it, Pim? Won't it be fantastic?
And please don't get so excited. Peter doesn't even know you yet.
He'll get to know me soon, though. It's going to be so much fun having people around. A whole other family, won't it, Margaret? Yes, like being on vacation in some strange pension or something. An adventure! Romantic and dangerous at the same time.
What is it, Peter?
My parents, they were right behind me, one street away.
They will be here.
You don't think so?
No, Peter, don't worry. You're just like me.
Mother's always jumping at every little thing. What's its name?
Mushi.
Lucy. Lucy. Oh, I love cats. Where'd you go to school?
They set up a technical school at someone's house once we were forbidden.
I had to switch from my Montessori school to the Jewish Lyceum.
I know. I started there.
You did?
What did I tell you? See? Now, we are all here.
Just in time. We had to take a long way around. There was plenty of green police on the streets.
Welcome, Mrs. Van Daan. Mr. Van Daan. You already know Mrs. Frank, of course, and the children.
You must hurry. The workman will be here in half an hour.
Such trouble we're causing you, Mr. Crawler, after everything you and me have done. And now we arrive early.
Couldn't let your daughter be taken away, Mr. Frank.
Please, don't worry. We'll do everything we can to help you. Now, I must run and get your ration books.
Wait. If they see our names in ration books, they'll know we're here, won't they?
Trust me, your names won't be on them. Now I'll be back up later on. If you make a list, every day I will get what you want. And every Saturday I can bring you 5 library books.
Thank you.
5? I know what my 5 are going to be.
And please remember there are 7 of us.
I know, Mother. The ration books, then, they're illegal. We've never done anything illegal before.
I don't think we'll be living exactly according to regulations here.
Listen, Western Torrent.
I don't think I'm ever going to get used to the sound of that clock.
Oh, I love it.
Dave and I will be here every day to see you. I've hidden the buzzer to signal you when we come up. And tomorrow I'll have the bookcase placed in front of your door. One last thing. The radio.
A radio? Fantastic.
Oh, radio, thank God.
How did you get it? We had to return ours months ago.
Thank you, Mr. Crawley, for everything.
You'll tell them what you're going to say.
I will tell them.
Mr. Crawley, how can we thank you? I mean, how
I
can we
never
really...
thought I'd live to see the day a man like Mr. Frank would have to go and die.
What a journey. It's a wonder we weren't arrested. Petronella walking down the street in a fur coat, carrying a hat box in the middle of the summer.
What do you need another hat for?
Oh, it's not a hat, it's... Oh, I just don't feel at home without my chamber pot.
Now, everyone, a few things quickly before we have to get organized. And, listen. First, about the noise. When the workers are in the building from 8 to 6, we must remain completely quiet. So no shoes, please. And only move about when absolutely necessary. We can't run any water. We can't flush the toilet in the WC. The pipes go down into the warehouse so every sound can be heard.
Only one toilet for all of us?
And we can't throw out any trash, not even a potato peel. We're going to burn everything in the stove at night. We can't go outside, of course. We can't even look outside the window. No coughing, no fevers if possible. Remember, we can never call a doctor. And this is the way we must live until this is all over. But after 6, we can talk, we can laugh, we can play games, we can move about as we normally would at home. Now, this will be our common room, the place where we gather to have supper like one family.
One family. I love that.
Now, I do think it's time we get settled in. As Mr. Von Don and I discussed, this floor will be the Von Don home, the lower floor the Frank home, and I know your space is tiny, Peter, but it is close to your parents. And I'm glad you brought that cat. Meat warned us. There could be rats.
Rats? Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sure Mushy could take care of these rats.
Now, can I help you with your things?
No, thank you. Let's go up to the attic and bring down our dishes. All of our boxes are up there.
Never can we thank you, Mr. Frank. I don't know what would have happened to us if it weren't for you.
You don't know how your husband helped me when I first came to Amsterdam, knowing no one, unable to speak the language. I can never repay him for that. Besides, he's been an excellent business partner.
Well, that's true.
God, it's hot.
Well, maybe if you take off that precious coat for 1 minute, you'd feel a little cool.
You rest, Edith. You haven't closed your eyes since yesterday. How are you, Margaret?
I slept, Father. Isn't that funny? Even though I knew it was the last night in my own bed.
You can sleep through anything. Take off your shoes before you forget. You too, Peter. Shoes.
Are you sure you're not too tired, Anna?
Mother, I'm fine. Hey, what are you doing?
Taking it off.
You can't do that. They'll arrest you if you go out without your star.
Who's going out? Now I don't have to be ready.
You're right. We don't need it anymore. Remember when it started? People trying to look the other way? Somehow their eye always landed right there. Ugh, Mother sewed us on so tight.
The day they made us wear the star was the worst day of my life.
Look, it left a mark. Do you know Holly Gosler?
No.
Joby DeWall?
Never heard of her.
Oh, but you heard of me.
My father is your father's business partner.
You heard of me, you heard of me. I'm famous at my school.
That's true, in a way.
What do you mean?
And you mustn't bother Peter.
I'm not bothering him. Mushy, mushy.
Tonight, we'll have our first real supper here together.
Thank you.
He's awfully shy.
Oh, you'll like him, I know.
I better. He's the only boy I'm going to see for him, my movie stars. You remembered. I'm going to put them right over here with my... Wait, where's my diary? Oh, I forgot to pack my pencils.
Anne, no! Won't you listen to me? You cannot go down those stairs.
It was only
Never, Anne. This is what going into hiding means. This is what I was talking about. One mistake could cost us all our lives.
I know, Father.
But remember, Anne, every day, me and Mr. Crawler will bring us food and books and their precious company. They're friends, Anne. That's rare these days. If the Nazis ever found out they were hiding us, they would be deported too.
Your fountain pen.
Your fountain pen?
Oh, Pim, what a darling you are.
All those bags of beans and potatoes, is that all we're going to be eating every night? How much variety is there?
Oh, don't listen to her. What she can do with beans and potatoes. My wife's a great cook.
Lucky for us.
Even with beans, you'll see. But I'm going to miss those gourmet meals.
Oh, please stop exaggerating.
The women seem content, don't they?
Well, you can never tell with women, but I think we'll be all right.
Good. Mrs. Von Don, we'll meet tonight at 6 and start preparing supper.
6 o'clock, yes.
Come, Petronella, away from the kitchen. The workmen will be here any moment.
Autumn, maybe it was a mistake. All of us going into hiding together like this. They say it's best for families to separate. That way, if they're betrayed or they're caught, at least the
It's
children...
the perfect hiding place. The children would have never understood if we had separated them. They wouldn't have borne it. No more than we. Come. It's time for us to be quiet now.
Mother, are you all right? Stop trembling. Feel my hands. Don't worry. We're here now. We're safe. They can't take you away. Yes, we're here now.
Und wir dazu einzutreten entschlossen sind bis zum letzten Hauch. Dieses Deutschland, der deutschen Volksgemeinschaft aller deutschen Stämme, das Großdeutsche Reich, Sieg heil! Sieg heil!
It's the silence that frightens me most. Every time I hear a creak in the house or a step on the street, I'm sure they're coming for us. I wander from room to room, feeling like a songbird whose wings have been ripped off and keeps hurling itself against the bars of its dark cage. Let me out, where there's fresh air and laughter. But then I remember the Jews who are not in hiding, and I know we live in a paradise. We're as quiet as baby mice. Who would have dreamed that 2 months ago, Quicksilver Anne would have to sit still for hours, And what's more, could.
At last! Oh, what were you writing in that book that was so funny? Nothing about me, I hope. Can I take a peek?
No, Mrs. Von Don.
Not even a little peek?
Not even a little peek, Mrs. Von Don.
All right. I'm first for the WC.
Has anyone seen my shoes?
Shoes?
You took them, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're gonna be sorry.
Am I?
Absolutely.
And
Wait till I get you.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Here. Ooh, you're strong. You didn't think I was so strong, did you? I'm making you mad. You're really getting mad now, aren't you?
And Peter.
Come on, Peter. Dance with me. I'll teach you.
I don't want any lessons.
Please.
I have to give Mushy his dinner.
Can I watch?
He doesn't like people around who he hates.
I'll be quiet. Quiet as a little mouse. He likes mice, doesn't he?
No!
And I really don't think you should play like that with Peter. It's not dignified.
Who cares if it's dignified? I don't want to be dignified.
You know, you complain that I don't treat you like a grown-up. But when I do, you resent it.
I just want to have some fun. What's wrong with that boy?
He's just not used to girls, especially a girl like our Annika. Give him time.
How much time does he need? Come on, Maga, you dance with me. We're gonna have to have dinner, please. If we don't practice, we're gonna forget how. Oh, all right. See, everyone, Maga's the real dancer in the family. Him?
Dancing. Where's Peter?
In his room.
His father will kill him if he catches him with that cat again. And darling, do me a favor, get Peter out of his room.
Peter! Oh, Peter!
What is it?
Your mother says to come out.
You know what your father says.
I will feed Mushi.
Fine. Feed him and get right out.
Now, is that any way to talk to your little
Oh,
girlfriend?
Mother, for heaven's sake.
Look at him, he's blushing.
You're crazy. She's only 13.
Well, you're 16. Your father's older than me. I tell you, Mr. Frank, if this war goes on any longer, we're liable to be related. Oh, I think I have a run here.
Some run.
God, I hate them.
Good evening, everyone. I wish I could stay for supper, but I have no social graces. In fact, I'm so shy, I can barely get a word out of my...
All right, I heard about you, how you talked so much in class. Mr. Kesey called you Miss Quack Quack and made you write a composition. Quack, 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 say Miss Quack Quack.
Well, go on. Tell them the rest. How it was so good. He read it out loud to our class, and then out loud to all the other classes.
I know about you, always joking.
I don't always joke.
Always making fun of people. Quack, quack, quack.
You're the most infuriating boy I ever met.
That's right, Annie. Give it to him.
Out of all the boys in the world, I had to get locked up with you.
Quack, quack, quack. And from now on, stay out of my room.
Damn!
And excellent in history and in Latin.
Me period.
Oh, the workman just left a little while ago.
What's for dinner?
Beans.
Again? I see you in there playing with that cat.
Oh, he just went in there a second ago. He's been out here all afternoon working on this French.
Really?
How did I do in algebra?
I think we better both give up on algebra.
How did I do? How do you always do? Brilliant.
Very good, but I think you could have used the subjunctive here.
You sure? Mrs. Von Don, may I try on your coat?
Anne? Of course you may, dear. My father gave me this coat a year before he died. He always bought the best money could buy.
Did you have a lot of boyfriends before you were married?
Anne, it's not polite to ask personal questions.
Why not? I had a throng of admirers who couldn't keep their eyes off me.
Our house was always swarming with boys. I remember the summer I was 16.
Oh, God, here we go again.
No one is talking to you. We had a big house in gray mahogany. The boys would come buzzing around like bees around a honey pot. My father was very worried about me with all those boys buzzing around. He told me, if any of those boys get fresh, you tell them, remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember, I'm a lady.
Remember, Mr. So-and-so. Remember, I'm a lady.
Oh, very good. That's enough.
What have you got that's so important to write about in that book of yours? How much does a 13-year-old have to say?
Just because someone's young doesn't mean they don't have anything to say, Mr. Von Don. Please, can I have any privacy?
Petronella, could you tell me what could possibly be so private?
You know how it is at that age, Putty. Everything's private, even brushing your teeth.
Well, I hope she doesn't write anything about me in that private diary of hers.
Don't be ridiculous, Putty. You know, sometimes you can be so childish.
Haven't you finished your French yet? You ought to be ashamed.
I know, I'm a hopeless case.
You are not hopeless. He is not hopeless. He just doesn't have anyone to help him, like the girls do. Maybe you can help him, Mr. Frank.
I'm sure that his father would...
Oh, not me. He won't listen to me.
Well, what do you say, Peter?
Oh, Mr. Frank, you are an angel. I don't know why I didn't meet you before I met that one over there.
Come, Peter. Show me what chapter you're on.
Peter, you listen to Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank is a highly educated man.
Isn't it hard enough around here without you sprawling all over the place?
You know, if you didn't smoke so many cigarettes, you would not be so ill-tempered.
Smoking? Do you see me smoking?
You mean to tell me you used up all those cigarettes?
One package. Me brought me one package.
Well, it's a filthy habit, and it's about time you broke it.
Oh, stop it.
You know, you're smoking up all our money. You know that?
Will you shut up? What are you staring at?
I never heard grown-ups quarrel like that before. I thought only children quarreled and it wore off when you grew up.
This is not a quarrel. This is a discussion. And I never heard children so rude before.
Rude? I don't know how you can say that.
Anne, can you please go to my room and get my knitting? I really do need to ask Meek to get me some more wool.
And I need some new hairpins and soap. Please, Meek, get me some starch, some tea, some biscuits, a movie star magazine. Tell us all the latest news, Meek. It's a wonder Meek has a life of her own. Did you know she's engaged to someone called Jan? She's crazy about him, but she's terrified the Nazis would send him to Germany to work at a war plant. That's what they're doing to all the young Dutchmen these days. They pick them up in the streets and...
Suppose you try to keep still for 5 minutes.
Anne, come on and drink your milk.
Talk, chatter. It's a wonder we haven't been discovered and shot. Why are you showing off all the time? Why can't you be quiet like your sister Martha? Be a good girl.
Not me. I am going to be remarkable. I am going to Paris.
Really?
Yeah, I am going to be a famous writer, or singer or dancer one day.
Oh my God, my beautiful coat! I'm sorry. Do you know how much money my father paid for this coat?
I'm very, very sorry.
I could kill you for this.
Petronella.
Anne, you can't be in like this.
It was an accident. Anyone can have an accident.
I'm not talking about the coat. I'm talking about the answering back. I understand we're all living under tremendous stress, but well, you don't see Margaret getting into arguments with the Von Dons, do you?
Margaret's perfect. She never gets into arguments with anybody. I am not perfect.
She's courteous. She keeps her distance and they respect her for it. Please, Annika, try to be more like Margaret.
And have them walk over me? No thanks. They do not walk over me. Yes, they do. All over you.
I'm not afraid that they're going to walk all over you, Anne. I'm afraid that you're going to walk all over them. I don't know what gets into you. If I had ever spoken to my mother,
Yes,
would you speak
Mother.
to me?
No, Mother. Anything you say, Mother. People aren't like that anymore. I can't do everything for you.
Margaret does not do
Margaret,
everything.
Margaret, that's all I ever hear.
Well, Anne, don't be so dramatic.
Everything she does is right, and everything I do is wrong. If I talk, I'm a show-off. If I answer, I'm rude. I'm selfish if I eat too much. I'm stupid. I'm cowardly. I'm a complete disappointment. I'll never live up to your expectations. I'll never be Margaret.
I don't know how we can go on living this way.
You know, Anne, in a couple of minutes you'll be back out here laughing and joking.
But there's no room, no privacy for any of us. And those people, the way they behave. And your father, he just chooses to close his eyes to these things. I can't even remember how life used to be. Me?
It's me!
Oh, me, our darling me.
At last.
Does everyone have their list?
I have.
Mead never fails us, does she, darling? Now you'll be able to get your library books.
Me, what's it like outside?
How are you, Mr. Crawler?
Where did you go today? Who did you see? Did anyone interesting come to the office?
When meat comes, the sun begins to shine.
Missed you yesterday, Mr. Crawler. Tell us, Mead. We want to know everything.
Would you like to stay for supper?
Thank you, but there's something we need to talk over with you. Something that has to be decided immediately.
What is it, Mr. Crawler?
Every time we come, we try to bring a bit of good news. Up here, you can't realize how bad things have become outside.
There's a dentist, Dr. Jussel. He's Jewish. He's been living with a Christian woman, and today he asked if I knew a hiding place for him. He's desperate for a safe address. I promised I would let him know.
Yeah, yes, of course. Absolutely. Jussel, I believe we know him.
It's great news, Mead.
Yes, but there's barely enough room here now. Where's he going to sleep?
Forgive me, I spoke without consulting you.
No, you're right. It's just that there's so little food.
Mr. Van Daan, why? There are simply no more ration books to be had.
7 can eat 8 feet as well.
I hope so.
If we can save just one person.
Well,
We
you're
must.
right. Of course.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you. Mr. Crawler will meet him, and I will bring him up.
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
It's fine to have him, but where are we going to put him?
He could have my bed. I'll sleep on the floor.
Well, it's very kind of you, Peter, but there's hardly enough room in there for you.
I know. I'll move in with you and Mother, and Mr. Dussel can have my bed.
No, that wouldn't work. Margaret will move in with us, and Mr. Jussel can have her bed. It's the only way.
Well, why? Why can't I move in?
Because it wouldn't be proper for Margaret to... Anne, please just don't argue with me. It's settled.
As far as I'm concerned, Mother can go jump in the lake. I don't know why I've taken such a terrible dislike to her, but I can imagine her dying someday. While Daddy's death seems inconceivable to me. It's very mean of me, I know, but that's how I feel. I hope Mother will never read this, or anything else I've written. She's not a mother to me. I have to mother myself. If only Nana were here. She always stuck up for me. Who can I turn to for comfort now? Only my diary. Sometimes I think God is trying to test me. I'll have to become a good person on my own, without anyone to advise me. But it'll make me stronger in the end. 3.5 months at the annex, and we're eagerly awaiting our latest edition. What will he be like? Meep says he's quiet, refined, and, by all accounts, an excellent dentist. He's meeting Mr. Crowler at 11 sharp this morning at a certain place in front of the post office. It's all very exciting and totally nerve-wracking. What if they get caught? Those last few hours on the way to safety are the most dangerous for a Jew going into hiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's done.
Everything went smoothly. Mr. Dussel was at the appointed place at the appointed time. He had to wear Jan's coat over his office jacket so no one would see the yellow star when he came into our building. He was amazed to be brought to the center of Amsterdam rather than into the country where so many hiding places are. Of course, he had no idea we were right upstairs waiting for him.
I'm dreaming. Mr. Frank. Mr. Otto Frank. I heard you were in Switzerland. A patient of mine told me that you had escaped to Basel or Belgium or someplace.
That's what everyone thinks, the Nazis included, we hope.
We tricked them. We're very glad you've come, Mr. Dussel.
All of us are.
How can I ever thank you?
Oh, not us. Me, Mr. Crowley.
Without them, we couldn't live.
Aren't you scared me? Sometimes?
We're not heroes.
Oh, you are too modest, me.
We just don't like the Nazis, anything about them.
Come, Mr. Dussel, you must be worn out. Please sit down.
Let us have a little toast, Mr. Dussel.
Cognac. We were saving it in case of illness.
What better time to use it? To Mr. Dussel, we are honored to have you with us.
Prost.
Prost. Delicious. Too bad there's so little of it.
Mr. Dussel, I believe we know someone in common. Dr. Kinsler. We were friends back in the old days. Dr. Frankfurt. What is it?
Dr. Kinsler was taken a month ago. Beethoven shot. They took the whole block.
What's happening outside?
Tell us, Mr. Dussel.
All over Amsterdam, Jews are disappearing. Some are torn out of their beds in the middle of the night. My God, the screams. Children come home from school and find that their parents are gone. Women come back from shopping and find that their families have vanished. It's impossible to escape unless you go into hiding. Thousands are being deported. The Bloombergs, Professor Hallenstein.
God, no.
You have 5 minutes to get ready. Pack whatever you can in a rucksack. Herd into the Jewish theater for days or sometimes weeks, and then Westerbork, the transit camp. And from there, every Tuesday, like clockwork, a train leaves for the east.
Mr. Dussel, do you know the Gosslers? Their daughter, Hanali, and I have been friends since we were 4. They didn't come for them, did they? Not Hanali. Can't be.
Are you a family president?
No.
I'm sure Mr. Dussel needs to get settled in before dinner, Edith. I'm very sorry we can't offer you your own room. I trust you don't mind sharing with my daughter.
Forgive me for upsetting you.
No, you had to tell us. We had to know.
Anne, show Mr. Dussel your room.
Me. Thank you for everything.
All he said, so terrible. So different from the way Mr. Collar tells it.
I like it better the way Crowler tells it.
Well, here we are.
It isn't very big, is it?
I've never shared a room with a man before. I hope I'll be a suitable companion. I know you'll miss the woman you live with terribly.
We've never been separated. Everything happened so fast, I didn't have a time to tell her where I was going. I didn't have any knowledge of where I was going myself.
You weren't supposed to. None of our friends knew. It would have been too dangerous. Not just for us, for them, and for Charlotte.
You're a very bright young lady. I hope you'll bear with me.
I hope you'll bear with me. I seem to irritate everyone around here. What's she like, your Charlotte?
Charming, beautiful. You'd like her. She isn't Jewish, you know.
I know. Meek told us. This is my bed, and this is Margaret, where you'll be sleeping. I know it's small and dark in here, but if you peek through the blackout curtain, you'll see the most beautiful chestnut tree in the world. I can't wait till it's in blossom, though I hope the war will be over by then, and we'll all be home. I was wondering, about the room, Margaret always had it in the afternoons, and I had it in the mornings. Would that be all right with you?
I'm not at my best in the morning.
You can take the afternoons, or the mornings, and I'll take the afternoons. Did you bring your dental equipment? I can't wait to see it. I love those little mirror things. Will you be filling all of our cavities?
It's very hard being a dentist. Children don't understand that.
What do you mean?
Nobody likes to go to the dentist. Everybody hates us, and you know, they all make fun of us, but it isn't fun for us. Everybody hates us.
That's awful.
Tell me something. When you're in here, where do I go? In there? With all those people?
And Mushi.
Who's Mushi?
Peter's cat.
Cat. Nobody mentioned a cat to me. He has it here?
Oh, you'll love Mushi. He's the sweetest cat in the world.
I hate cats. They're terrifying. They give me asthma.
Don't worry. Peter keeps him in his room all the time anyway.
Well, let's hope he does. By the way, Mr. Crowther spoke of a schedule.
It's mainly about when we have to be quiet and when we can use the WC. You could use it right now if you'd like.
No, thank you.
You don't know how important WC can be when you're in hiding, especially when you're scared.
I understand. If you wouldn't mind, I would like to lie down a bit before dinner. It helps with digestion.
You rest, Mr. Dussel. I'll try and make you feel at home.
Good evening, this is Cauldry's Park of the BBC Radio Europe, November 12th. German forces yesterday entered occupied France, acting quickly in an attempt to counter the sweeping Allied gains along the southern shore of the Mediterranean. Hitler sent armed columns and infantry to occupy Vichy France. The Vichy regime thereby came to an end, and with it, the violent pretense that part of France was a free zone.
Father tucked me in and said my prayers with me. I feel wicked, sleeping in a warm bed when some of my friends are at the mercy of the cruelest monsters ever to walk the earth. And all because they're Jews. We assume most of them are murdered. The BBC says they're being gassed. I guess that's the quickest way to die. Fine specimens of humanity, those Germans. And to think I'm actually one of them. That's not even true. Hitler took our nationality away long ago. No matter what I'm doing, I can't help think about those who are gone. All we can do is wait for the war to end. The whole entire world is waiting. And most are waiting for death.
It was just a dream, Angel. That's all it was. That's all it was a dream.
These nightmares, Mrs. Frank, they're getting worse. I don't sleep. She keeps me up half the night. I keep shushing her. I can't sleep.
And
Every night, Mrs. Frank, every night. She's putting us all in danger.
please, Mr. Dussel, go back to bed. She'll be fine in a minute.
What happened?
Another nightmare.
Sounded like someone was murdering her.
Shall I get you some water? It's a bad dream, wasn't it? Would you like to tell me about it? Sometimes it's better when...
Thank you, Mother.
All right. Well, try to sleep then. I'll sit right here with
I'd
you
rather
until...
you didn't.
All right. Good night, then.
Hey, could you ask Father to come in, please?
Edith.
Oh my God, I'll go to her. She's still trembling.
It's okay.
You were never like this.
I'm different. I'm more like you. It's not that she doesn't like you. Oh, Pam, I broke through the bookcase, took all of us away. The train whistle, Pam? The train going to the east? Did I yell terribly loud? Do you think anybody heard outside? I know what you're thinking, but I can't help the way I feel. I just don't love her. We just don't get along. I hate being cooped up in here with everybody. I don't get along with anyone. My nightmares. I know everyone hates me for having them, but I can't stop them from coming.
We're all having nightmares, and you let them out. Your mother has them too, horrible ones. She's having a very hard time now.
I know. I'm trying to change. I have another side. A better, finer side, but it's as if I'm split in half. What's good, what's bad? Pam, I don't know. I want to be a better person, but not if it means shutting myself off or hiding how I feel.
I understand. We've always understood each other, you and I. You know, when we first got here, you taught me something.
Me?
Remember the day we arrived, how numb Margeotes and your mother were. I was a wreck with worry. You were skipping around the room, calling it an invention. You showed me you could escape. Now, when I read my Dickens, that takes me into another world. In that world, I feel safe. You have something too. Diary. When you fill that up, I know you found your world in there. You're lucky, Annie.
Lucky?
You can write. You can put all your thoughts down on paper. It's okay, Annie. Sooner the war will end.
long to be back in school with my friends, ride a bike, swim, whistle, laugh so hard it hurts. I wonder if anyone will ever not think about whether I'm Jewish, and just see me as a teenager, badly in need of some good, clean fun. Mathis said,
I want to go dancing, learn all the latest steps, and fly around the room in a brand new pair of dancing shoes.
The movies. I'd love to go see a movie. Maybe a Western. If they ever let us crack in again.
I'm longing for a real cup of coffee with cream and sugar. No, a whole pot full.
A bath. A hot bath in a bathtub. Lying there luxuriating for hours. And then Putty comes in and soaks my back.
and Putty said,
Cream cakes. First thing out of here, I'm going to Berkoff's to get some cream cakes.
Charlotte, just to look at her, listen to her, for hours.
You know what I want? To pack a picnic lunch and take my family to the seashore. For the whole day.
That was very moving.
It's not over yet. There's still a song. Presents.
Not this year.
And no potato pancakes either.
Please, don't remind me.
I make the best latkes you ever tasted.
I can't bear it.
Invite us all next year.
What's in there, darling?
Presents. Mathis, you read yours out loud.
You never lose your temper. You never will, I fear. You're just too good, but if you should, put all your crosswords here. A new crossword book.
It's not new. It's yours. I rubbed all the words out, but if you wait a while and forget, you can do it all over again.
I love it. Thank you, Anne.
For Mrs. Von Don,
Oh, how beautiful. What's in it?
shampoo. I took the lots of my toilet water and mixed it with tiny pieces of soap.
Oh, how sweet. Thank you, Anne.
This was all Anne's idea.
For Mr. Von Don, this is really something. Something you want more than anything in the world.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait. What can it be? A cigarette.
Pim found some old pipe tobacco in the pocket lining of his coat, and we made it. Well, Pim did, but it's real tobacco, I promise.
Well, we'll see. Thank you, Anne. I truly mean it.
For Mother,
Here's an IOU I promise to pay. 10 hours of whatever you say.
Boy, I wish I had that little slip of paper. 10 hours. consider selling it, would you, Mrs. Frank?
Never. It's the best present I've ever had.
For Tim.
And I'm not supposed to get anything. Oh.
I made it out of bits of wool I found. Nobody helped me. Not even Mother, not even Margaret. I knitted it in the dark after I got into bed.
After writing in that diary of hers, keeping me up half the night. Just kidding.
I'm afraid it looks better in the dark.
Looks perfect to me. Thank you, Monica. I shall treasure it.
For Moochie. Oh, and the ribbons from your ballet slippers? They don't fit anymore anyway.
Well, on behalf of Mushi, thank you. That's very kind of you.
And from his quack quack. Go ahead, open it.
You sure nothing's going to jump out and bite me?
What is it?
A razor. He's got it for me at second hand, but he really does need one now.
What for?
Look at his upper lip. There's a little soft girl there.
There it is. Put a little milk on it, let the cat lick it off.
Think you're funny, do you? Well, I like it, and thank you very much.
And, last but not least, my roommate, Mr. Dussel.
You got something for me, Anne? Capsules. 2 capsules. Not poison, I hope.
Earplugs, so you won't hear me thrashing around at night. I made them out of cotton and candle wax. Try them on, see if they work. Are you ready?
What?
Are you ready?
Oh my goodness! They've gone inside my head! Help! 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 I was joking. Thank you, Anne.
I love my present, Anne.
So darling,
She
you
finally
are.
turned to do this.
A real Hanukkah.
One last thing.
What?
One present. Just one.
Who for? Show us!
For your mother. For tonight.
My music box. Oh, how did you...
I saved it for you. I was hoping we weren't going to be here till Hanukkah, but I brought it just in case.
This box goes all the way back to my great-grandmother. My father's an angel for saving this one.
Why didn't you save anything of mine?
I saved you, didn't I?
Listen.
Look, Mushi loves his present.
Peter will give me asthma.
What is the matter with you? Get that cat out of here.
Cat? What cat?
Well, it doesn't have to be the actual cat. It can be his clothes.
Don't worry, we're getting rid of it.
Finally you listen to me.
Not because of you, Dussel. We're getting rid of it. I'm tired of all the fleas. Out! Out he goes!
Mr. Mondon, you can't do that. That's Peter's cat. Peter loves that cat.
If he goes, I go.
So, go!
You're not going and the cat's not going. Put the towel away. Mr. Dussel, please. Sit down. It's Hanukkah. Time of celebration. Girls, sing the song.
Ma'ozor Yeshuasi, Lechana El Shabeya, Tikkun Beis Tefilasi, Lishram Tov.
they're gone.
The Gestapo? If it was the Gestapo, they'd be up here by now.
Maybe it was a thief.
Got to do something.
There's nothing to do.
I'm going down.
Look! Honey, go get our money. Maybe we can buy them.
Keep still.
Someone go get Father.
Quiet.
Oh,
Sit down.
go.
Quiet, everyone.
Wait until they drag us away?
It was a thief.
How do you know?
He took the cash box. He left in such a hurry, he left the door wide open. The noise must have scared him away. The danger is past. We are safe now.
Maybe. But we're in even greater danger now.
Mr. Dussel, please!
Now somebody knows we're up here.
Why are you pointing at him? It could have happened to any one of us. It was an accident.
Do you mean to tell me you think a thief is going to go to the Green Police and say, I was robbing a place the other night and heard a noise above my head? Do you really think a thief is going to say that?
Yes, I do.
Well, you are crazy.
I think one night he will be caught. And I think he will go to the Green Police. And he will make a bargain. He will say, if you let me off, I will show you where some Jews are hiding. Maybe they'll even reward him. You know what Nick said. 7.5 guilders for every Jew found in hiding.
He's right.
Father, we can't stay here anymore. Let's go. Let's just go.
Where is there to go?
Onto the street?
No one is leaving. We cannot panic. If we panic, we're lost. We have survived here 6 months together. We are going on. Margaret, and the song, please.
Sometimes I see myself alone in a dungeon, without father and mother, or I'm roaming the streets, or the annex is on fire, or they come in the middle of the night to take us all away. And I know it could happen so soon.
I see the 8 of us in the annex, as if we were a patch of blue sky surrounded by menacing black clouds. The perfectly round spot on which we stand is still safe, but the clouds are moving in on us, and the ring between us and the approaching danger is being pulled tighter and tighter. We're surrounded by darkness and danger, and in our desperate search for a way out, we keep bumping into each other. We look at the fighting down below, and the peace and beauty up above, but we're cut off by dark, massive clouds, and can go neither up nor down. It looms before us, an impenetrable wall, trying to crush us, but not yet able to. I can only cry out and implore, "Oh, ring, ring, open wide and let us out." Saturday, January 1st, 1944. Another new year has begun, and we're in the middle of the great terror known as winter. We've been here 1 year, 5 months, and 25 days. We're all thinner, paler, and a lot hungrier. We've been plagued by medical problems. Everyone's always suffering from something. And although we can't call a doctor, our favorite dentist is never too far away.
I'm almost finished, Mrs. Van Dam, if you can hold on a little bit longer.
How can I? You're killing me!
Well, perhaps if you'd stop complaining, I would finish sooner.
Try.
Now you've got my instrument stuck in your tooth.
Is that my fault? Forward out!
If you stop moving around, you're pushing it in further.
Oh, there, I've got it.
I'm lucky. I've been healthy. In fact, I've been growing. So much I can't fit into my shoes anymore, not to speak of anything else. And there's another change, something happening inside of me. Each time I get my period, and it's only been 3 times, I have the feeling that, even with all the discomfort, I have a sweet secret. And despite the pain, I long for the time I'll feel that secret within me again. Sometimes when I lie in bed at night, I feel a terrible urge to touch my breasts and listen to the steady beating of my heart. Once, when I was spending the night at Joby's, I could no longer restrain my curiosity about her body, which she always kept hidden from me. I asked her whether, as proof of our friendship, we could touch each other's breasts. She refused. I also had a terrible desire to kiss her, which I did. Every time I see a female nude, such as the Venus in my art history book, I go into ecstasy. Sometimes I find them so exquisite, I have to struggle to hold back my tears. And there's something else. Peter. Whenever he looks at me with those eyes, I get this feeling.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You should have at least one day to yourself, but it's a lot here.
Me. You smell like the wind itself.
Oh, how are you, Anne?
I wonder if you'd mind delivering this letter for me, for Charlotte, for the new year.
Are you feeling any better, Margot?
A little, thank you.
Well, perhaps this will make you feel even better.
Oh, pretty, look, the cake, the cake.
Oh, cake! I'll get the plates.
Spice cake, your favorite.
Everyone's favorite.
Oh, it smells delicious. But maybe you must have used up all of your rations for the week. Oh, and look how sweet she wrote on it, peace in 1944.
Last year it said peace in 1943.
Well, it has to come happen eventually, doesn't it?
Let's pray it does.
Here, Petronella, here's the knife. Now, how many of us are there?
Oh, none for me, thank you.
Well,
Oh, Veep, you must.
then seven. 7 of us.
8. 8. Same number as there always is.
Well, I just took for granted that Margot wouldn't be having any.
Why not?
I really don't think a piece of cake will harm her.
Well, I didn't want her to start coughing again. 8. All right.
And please, Mrs. Frank should cut the cake. Mrs. Frank divides things better.
What are you saying? Don't I always give everyone exactly the same?
Yes. Everyone gets exactly the same. Only Mr. Van Daan always gets a little bit more.
Now wait just a minute!
Please! Please! You see how a little spice cake goes to our heads.
Mrs. Frank, you
Veep, it looks delicious.
You sure you won't have a piece?
No, thank you. I have to leave in a minute.
Miepchen. Jan is lucky to have a woman that can bake like this.
Jan! Tell us about Jan.
Jan is taking me to a party tonight.
A party? Oh, Meek, you must remember everything so you can tell us about it tomorrow.
Tell everyone you danced with.
With Jan, only with Jan. Oh, I seem to have forgotten something. For someone.
For me?
Well, what is it? Come on, I can't stand the suspense. Oh, Meek, where did you get those?
You could hardly get slippers on the black market these days.
And look, they match. Incredible.
All grown up. Ready for Hollywood.
Enjoy the man. And don't worry, I'll give you a full report tomorrow.
Miep, there's something I'd like you to do for me.
What, Putty? What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
What is it?
He wants to sell her fur coat. No. Putty, you can't do this to me. This is my coat. I've had this coat for 17 years. My father gave me this coat. You have no right. Don't you dare. Let go of it.
You have to give it up.
Let go.
You can't keep a fur coat when people are in desperate need of warm clothing. Besides, we're broke. We've been running out of money for months. I have to sell it.
Mrs. Frank?
Nick, I remember when New Year's was something to look forward to.
Mrs. Frank, you mustn't give up hope.
There's no hope to be had. I know that. I knew that the moment I first knew that Hitler came to power. The first moment I heard his voice screaming out of my radio. I knew it. I remember sitting there, paralyzed. And now in London, what is the Dutch Queen doing? What are they all doing? Nothing. There's not even any mention of the word Jew. The trains, they're still leaving. Why don't they bomb the tracks? I can't talk about this with the others.
I understand, Mrs. Frank.
I hear them talking and making plans about what they're going to do when the war is over, but I have to tell you, I feel that this war is never going to end. And sometimes I just want to turn myself in.
Forgive me for saying this, Mrs. Frank, but you must try and take things a little easier. They need you. The children need you.
I am so ashamed for feeling this way. And I know, you and Mr. Crowley, you have it just as hard.
No, Mrs. Frank, we don't.
Thank you for listening to me.
Non, non. Je ne sais pas ce que tu penses.
Pense, Mr. Dussel. Pense from penser to think. C'est que vous ne faites pas beaucoup.
What?
C'est que vous ne faites pas beaucoup.
You're going too fast.
Oui, je sais.
Je sais. I know that one.
Continuons. La prochaine page, s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
I just don't understand. I never would have done anything like this to you.
The coat was 17 years old. The skins had definitely seen their day.
That's not the point. You know it.
I know we need the money. We have no money. Can you get that through your head?
Don't talk to her like that.
You've never understood anything.
Oh, God, here we go again.
That coat was the last thing. A whole world gone.
Well, you've still got us, haven't you?
You took the last memory of my father away.
Do we have to hear about your father again? If you hadn't been so attached to your father, to your coat, to our apartment, and all your goddamn possessions, we'd be in America by now.
It's not her fault! Please, it was you two. You didn't want to...
No, I only stayed because of you, believe me. I knew which way the wind was blowing.
Sure, you always know everything.
Mother, please stop! Your mother will never listen.
If I could just say one thing.
No, you cannot. You say too much already, and it's none of your business anyway.
You shouldn't have said that, Mother.
What?
You've hurt her feelings.
Well, I apologize, okay? I apologize to everyone.
You left this.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for what happened in there. I wish I could have said something, but they make me feel so... I can't stand it when they... Sometimes I wish I'd never belonged to them at all. I just hope I never turn out like them.
You won't. I know it.
Like him. What if I'm like him?
You're not. Believe me.
All I can say is that, I don't know. I mean, you've always been such a big help to me.
I have? When?
Well, when you're cheerful, it helps keep me from feeling depressed.
I'm not always so cheerful, you know.
Really?
Inside.
Really?
It's hard. If you want to cry or something, there's nowhere to go.
I guess it's easier for me when there's a fight, you know, with my parents. I can just duck into my room.
You're lucky having a room of your own.
At least you can talk to your parents.
Not really. I never discuss anything serious with Mother. She just doesn't understand. I can talk about everything with Father, except Mother. I don't think you can really be intimate with someone if they hold something back. Do you?
I think your father's terrific.
He likes you too.
You think so?
I can tell from the little things he says. It's funny, isn't it?
What?
Well, we've been living here for almost a year and a half, and this is the first time we've really talked.
I know what you mean.
You know something, Peter?
What?
I've never really had a friend. Not someone I could truly confide in anyway.
Me neither.
The sun is shining, the sky a deep blue. There's a magnificent breeze, and I'm longing, so longing, for everything. I walk from room to room, breathe through the crack in the window frame, feel my heart beating as if to say, can't you fulfill this longing at last? I long for every boy, and to Peter I want to shout, say something. Don't just smile at me all the time. Touch me, so I can get that delicious feeling inside. I feel spring within me. I feel spring awakening. I feel it in my entire body and soul. I'm utterly confused, don't know what to read, to write, to do. I only know I'm longing. March 29th, 1944. We've had to cut down even further on food. The rats have gobbled up some of our precious supplies. They must be desperate too. Our mouths are watering for anything edible. All we've had to eat this week is pickled kale and rotten potatoes. You wouldn't believe how much kale can stink when it's a few years old.
What is it tonight?
Don't ask.
I have to be prepared.
On top of it all, every meal, there's been a political discussion ending in some terrible fight. But last night, something even more terrible happened.
I can't eat this again.
Something wrong, Mr. Dusso? You try cooking for a change instead of insulting my wife.
I think you prepared the kale very well, Mrs. Von Dunn. I don't know how you do it.
Oh, Mr. Frank, always the soul of politeness.
Every night, another miracle.
Careful, Dusso. We don't want to clog the pipes like last week.
Goody, please.
Margaret, what's wrong? You're not eating. Margaret, you have to eat.
I'm not hungry.
If she doesn't want it, Peter will eat it.
Margaret, please, just take a bite.
I can't. Here, Peter.
She eats like a bird. Look at her, every day a smaller bird. Margaret, I'm doing the best I can.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Von Dunn.
Peter's eating, Anne's eating.
And how do you do it? I pretend it's delicious, don't look at it, and before I know, it's gone.
Very wise, Annika.
I eat because I'm hungry.
Margaret, please, you've got to force yourself. You're too thin.
Lola, we're famished.
Will this war ever be over?
This war would be over a lot sooner if the goddamn British would start the invasion.
Please, not tonight.
The British are fighting for their lives.
They'll make a move when the time is right.
When we're dead and buried, you mean? It's amazing how strong those Germans are.
Oh, it's amazing. Those Germans are so strong, they're going to win the war. Is that what you mean?
They might. They very well might if the British don't get moving.
Oh, they're moving. I mean, what do you call 10,000 tons of bombs on Hamburg last Sunday? Isn't that enough for you?
No.
Well, how many bombs do you need?
Enough so we don't have to worry about going to Poland.
Hurry up in there!
Mr. Dusso, the line is for me.
Do you think I like spending my life in there?
Mr. Crow!
I'm sorry to come up at this hour, but something's happened. It's something serious.
What?
A man in the storeroom, Carl, a while ago he asked me, what do you hear from Mr. Frank? I said I'd heard a rumor you were in Switzerland. He said he'd heard that too, but thought I might know something more. Then, signing some invoices he brought up to the office, I looked up and saw him staring at the bookcase.
Oh my God.
He said he thought he remembered a door there. Then he said he wanted more money. 10 more guilders a month.
Blackmail?
10 guilders, very modest blackmail.
Just the beginning. What did you tell him?
I said I had to think about it. Should I pay him the money? Take a chance on firing?
For God's sakes, give him the money!
Offer him half. We'll find out if it's blackmail or not.
Look, maybe he knows nothing. But it's getting more dangerous every day out there. You must be more quiet. More quiet. I'll offer him half then.
Thank you, Mr. Cohen.
We'll hope for the best. Thank you.
Mother, are you all right? I can't bear it seeing you like this.
I'm fine. Why don't you go inside to supper, all right?
I'd rather stay here with you.
Mr. Dussel is getting awfully impatient out there.
Let him. I'm always waiting for him.
Are you going up to the attic again with Peter tonight? You've already been up there so many times today.
We went up exactly twice. Once to get the potatoes for supper, and once to practice French together.
But you know Mrs. Von Don, she's got an answer for everything.
She can't help herself. It's in her nature. Besides, I don't think it's Mrs. Von Don that's upsetting you.
I'm not upset.
You're not jealous of Peter and me? I'd be insanely jealous if it were you instead of me.
Yes, I imagine you would be, but I'm not.
Are you, Margot? Tell me the truth.
Well, who wouldn't want someone to have long, serious conversations with, spend tons of time with, and who knows what else? Yes, I'm jealous, but not of you and Peter. I just like someone of my own. I'm happy for you.
You mean it?
I mean it. I want you to have fun tonight, every night. You've already missed out on so much as it is.
Oh, Margaret, you're such a generous person. Anyway, maybe there's nothing to be jealous of. You don't do anything. He hasn't even kissed me yet.
The kiss will come.
I'm not sure I wanted to.
Oh, I know you. You can't help yourself. It's in your nature. Of course you do. your hair. There, now you're ready.
I presume I may finally get into my room.
Our room, dear Mr. Dussel. And yes, you may return.
Thank you so much.
And again, and look at her. You know what? Get a sweater. It's cold up in the attic, please. In my day, it was the girls who called on the boys.
Young people just like to think they can have secrets. The attic is the only place they can talk.
Talk? That's not what they called it in my day.
I think true love may be starting in our little annex.
If we're here much longer, we may even have a little annex wedding.
Frankly, I can't stand this silly chatter another minute. And just be down by 9, all right?
They're so old-fashioned. I guess they don't realize how much more advanced we are.
Nice.
Really?
I like the shoes. I've always liked the shoes.
Eve always does everything just right.
She likes you a lot.
I love her, but I hate having to ask for absolutely everything. Doesn't it make you miserable, being so dependent on people?
I'm not miserable anymore. I mean, even just bumping into her on the stairs, sometimes
I feel the same.
You know, you've changed. I used to think you were a real pain in the neck.
My life before seemed so unreal. I see myself then as an utterly superficial girl who has nothing to do with who I am today. I wouldn't go back to being her for the world.
Sure know a lot about yourself, don't you? I guess it comes from all that writing you do.
I want to be a real writer one day. I know I can write. I'm my harshest critic. But who knows if I truly have talent or not? What do you want to be?
I don't know, something that doesn't take much brains. Maybe if I had your drive.
That's ridiculous.
It's true, I'm a complete idiot.
You're way too hard on yourself.
I didn't have much going for me on the outside.
Maybe if you'd gone to my school. Oh, Peter, I miss so many things. Don't you? Sometimes I dream I'm back in my old apartment. I wake up and I don't know where I am. And I wonder, why can't I just run outside? Oh, you can see the moon from here. How beautiful. Just like you said. Look at our attic, the moonlight coming in.
Are you cold?
No. Well, maybe a little.
Here.
Peter, have you ever kissed a girl?
I guess so.
You have? When?
It wasn't a big deal or anything.
Tell me.
It was on my birthday. I was blindfolded. I don't even know who the girl was.
There's nothing wrong with being kissed or anything. Though I'm sure Margaret would never kiss a man unless she was engaged to him. And I know Mother never touched a man before she met him. My girlfriends would say, "Oh, Anne, how terribly shocking." But who cares what they'd say anyway? Everything's different now. Here.
You called it our attic before. Do you really think it's ours?
Yes.
You won't let them stop you from coming up here, will you?
No, I promise. Maybe I'll bring one of my stories and read it to you sometime.
You'll come tomorrow night.
If you want me to.
I do.
It's 9:05.
Well, I will then.
All Jews must be out of the German-occupied countries before July 1st. The province of Utrecht will be cleansed of Jews between April 1st and May 1st, and the provinces of North and South Holland immediately thereafter. Immediately thereafter. Immediately thereafter. Immediately thereafter.
Oh, Edith, please, come back to sleep.
Oh my God. I don't believe it. The bread.
No.
The bread. He's stealing the bread.
No, quiet.
Emma, for God's sake.
What is it? What's going on?
It's your husband stealing our bread.
It can't be. What are you doing?
Nothing.
It wasn't a rat. It was him.
Never before. Never before.
Oh, I don't believe you. If he steals once, he'll steal again. You know, every day I watch all of the children getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And you steal food that should go to them.
Oh, God.
Edith, please.
Mama, it was only a piece of bread.
Here.
Edith, he couldn't help himself. It could happen to any one of us.
I want them to go.
Go. Go where?
Anywhere.
You don't mean what you're saying.
I understand what you're saying, Mrs. Frank, but really it'd be impossible for...
They have to. I can't take it with them here anymore.
Edith, you know how upset you've been these past few days.
This has nothing to do with that.
We are all living under terrible strain. It won't happen again.
I'll never, I promise.
I want them to leave.
You put us out in the street.
There are other hiding places. Meep will find you something. Oh, and don't worry about the money. I will find you the money.
Mr. Frank, you told my husband you'd never forget what he did for you when you first came to Amsterdam.
If my husband had any obligation to you, it is paid for.
Edith, I've never seen you before like this, for God's sake!
You can't throw Peter out. He hasn't done anything.
Peter can stay.
I wouldn't feel right without Father.
Mama, please. They'll be killed on the streets.
That's right. Where would they go?
Fine. They can stay until we find them someplace else, but we're changing rooms. I don't want him anywhere near the food.
Let's divide it up right now.
We are not going to divide up some rotten potatoes.
Mr. Frank, Mrs. Frank, Margaret, and Mr. Von Don, Mrs. Von Don,
Please,
Peter, and myself.
Please!
Mr. Von Don,
Mr. Dussel,
Von Don,
everyone,
Peter,
go back to your rooms.
Myself,
Edith, come.
Mr. Frank,
Mr. Dussel, I
Frank,
believe the potatoes can wait.
and Mr. Von Don, Mrs. Von Don, Pete. Just let them wait.
Beep at this hour.
Everyone, the most wonderful, incredible news.
What is it?
The invasion. The invasion has begun. Did you hear me? Did you hear what I said? The invasion is happening right now. I ran up to tell you before the workmen got here. You can feel it in the streets, the excitement. This is it. They landed on the coast of Normandy.
The British?
British, Americans, everyone, more than 4,000 ships. Look, I brought a map.
For over a year, we've hoped for this moment.
Cherbourg, the first city. They're fighting for it right now.
How many days from Normandy to the Netherlands?
What did I tell you?
Cherbourg, Cayenne, Honnevet, Paris, Amsterdam.
Hoodie.
Emma, didn't you hear what they said? We will be free soon.
People of Western Europe.
Listen, that's General Eisenhower.
A landing was made this morning on the coast of France by troops of the Allied Expeditionary Force. This landing is part of the concerted United Nations plan for the liberation of Europe, made in conjunction with our great Russian allies. I have this message for all of you. Although the initial assault may not have been made in your own country, the hour of your liberation is approaching.
The invasion! Home! That means we could be going home.
I wouldn't even know what home is anymore. I've been away for so long. I can't imagine it.
Oh, I can imagine it. I can imagine every little detail. Just to be outside again, the sky,
Mother, just to walk along the canal? I'm afraid to let myself think about it. Have a real meal? Will anything taste the same? Look the same? I'm not sure if anything will ever be the same again. I mean, how can we go back? Really? You know what I've decided? I'm going to be a nurse for newborns and move far, far away.
How far?
I don't know, maybe Palestine. Maybe you'll go back to school in October, September even. Wouldn't that be something, Hanukkah?
Goody. You know what I was just thinking? You're not going to believe it. I was thinking about that first day we met, when you were buzzing around with the rest of the boys in Bremerhaven. I picked you out right away, you know? You were the one who made me laugh. And laugh. That afternoon you took me out on the ferry. First you made me laugh and then you started to kiss me. And kiss me. The kisses were even better than the laughter, remember? You gave me so many, the ferryman kept watching us and the ferry went off course. And then you made me laugh even more. And when we got back, you had such a ravenous appetite, you made that little restaurant open its doors and you ordered almost everything on the menu. What an appetite, the waiter kept saying. The man can really eat. We'll go back to that ferry one day. Kitty, I promise, it won't be long now. And soon I'll be cooking all your favorites. Sauerbraten with red cabbage, potato pancakes with your cherished applesauce. We'll even go to Burkhoff's for cream cakes. But meantime, Kitty, if you're hungry, hold on to me. Kitty, please. Just hold on to me.
Just as I was falling asleep, my friend Lee suddenly appeared to me. She was dressed in rags. Her face was thin and worn. She looked at me with such sadness in her eyes that I could read the message in them. Oh, Anne, why have you deserted me? Help me, rescue me from this hell. If only I could. Why have I been chosen to live and she to die? Oh, Lee, if only I could take you away, share everything I have with you. I hope if you live to the end of the war and return to us, I'll be able to take you in. Are you still alive? I keep seeing your enormous eyes. I keep seeing myself in your place. You're a reminder of what my fate could have been. What will we do if we're ever... No, I mustn't write that down. But the question won't let itself be pushed to the back of my mind. All the fear I have ever felt is looming before me in total, absolute horror.
So we come to an end of this broadcast from BBC Radio Europe. Till tomorrow, listeners, and we all know, no matter how hard the times and how heavy the separation, we are once more a day closer to the liberation.
Your mouth is too full.
I wouldn't be talking if I were you. You haven't stopped eating since we came up here.
Actually, why? You're the one who's been eating them all. Look at you, you're all red.
Look at you. They're all over your face.
But one thing's for sure, it's much better than showing those peas yesterday.
Green, green, green. I thought it would never end. Every string I pulled made me certain I never want to be just a housewife.
You never will be.
I forgot how delicious these were.
Of course you have. We haven't seen a strawberry in 2 years.
Don't eat too many. Could you remember how sick you were from that kale soup last night?
I'm just worried there won't be enough left for jam with those 3 up there.
Mr. Dussel, you're such a worrier. Ah, these are good.
I'll tell you a secret. Every night, I think they're coming. Our liberators, they're coming.
I bet you'll both forget about me once you're back with all your old friends.
Most of our friends are dead, Peter. But we won't forget about you. Ever.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Once we get out of here, I'm gonna make damn sure nobody knows I'm Jewish again.
What?
I'm serious. Life would be a whole lot easier if I were a Christian.
You mean get baptized?
I don't know, maybe.
I'd never turn back on who I am. I couldn't. Don't you realize, Peter, you'll always be Jewish. In your soul.
I've never seen anything stop me from talking before.
Ross! Stand in, Kenya! Dos! Stand! Stand! Dos! Stand!
It's a wonder I haven't abandoned all my ideals. They seem so absurd and impractical. Yet I cling to them because I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are really good at heart. It's utterly impossible for me to build my life on a foundation of chaos, suffering, and death. I see the world slowly being transformed into a wilderness. I hear the approaching thunder which will destroy us too. I feel the suffering of millions.
Westerbork, a barren heath. Wooden towers where our jailers stand guard. Walls covered with thousands of flies. The 8 of us crammed into prison barrack 67. Betrayed. We never know by whom. Our last month together.
Anne and Peter walking hand in hand between the barracks and the barbed wire. Edith worried about the children, washing underclothing in murky water. No. I'll go silent, staring at nothing. Our last days on Dutch soil. Late August, Paris, free, Brussels, Antwerp. But for us, it's too late. Tuesday, September 3rd, 1944. 1,000 of us are herded into cattle cars. the last transport to leave Westerbork for the extermination camps. Train, 3 days, 2 nights. In the middle of the third night, Auschwitz. Separation, men from women. Edith, Margaret, man, a family. Never again. One day, Peter and I watch a group of men march away, his father among them, gassed. Peter, on the death march to Mauthausen, dead 3 days before the British arrived. His mother, Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, Theresienstadt, Buchenwald, date of death unknown. Mr. Dussel dies in Neuengamme. January 27th, 1945, I am freed from Auschwitz. I know nothing of Edith and the children. And then I learned Edith died in Birkenau of grief, hunger, exhaustion. Winter of 45, typhus breaks out in Bergen-Belsen, killing thousands of prisoners. Among them, Margaret. Anne's friend Hannah Lee sees Anne through the barbed wire. She's naked, covered in lice, head shaved. I don't have anyone anymore, she weeps. 2 days later, Anne dies. My daughter's bodies dumped into mass graves. Just days before the camp is liberated. All that remains